Okay, guys. Interesting game here. And let me give you a little bit of backstory. So I played this yesterday, and the player I'm up against is a player known as Beery. Now, Beery, as entertaining and as energetic as he is, also can encapsulate some of the things that annoy people the most about certain high elo Age of Empires players. He calls me daddy every time we play. He has 5 or 6 different accounts, right? Always making new names and new accounts. And he also civ picks all the time and goes for a lot of one tricks. For example, he played Gurjaras for about like 2 months straight, went up like 200 elo, and he'd go for all these different strats with the Gurjaras. So there's this website that tells you who you're up against. It shows all 2K plus players, what they're doing, etc. And I saw I was up against Beery, so I selected Gurjaras because I figured, hey, he's going to go Gurjaras. And guess what? Gurjaras are really broken. I do think they're going to need some type of nerf. I did not want to go into a game having random civ where I get like Koreans or something and then get Gurjara'd all over, right? So it was like a Gurjara defense pick. Let's put it that way. Gurjaras, you put your sheep inside your mill. Really good food income there. But Beery's going for one of his other strategies. So, I'm going to go down the list of things that he's done. He has done Mongols, and he goes crazy lame and all in with Man-at-Arm Tower. He goes Gurjaras, and he's gone for crazy forwards, and some including the same thing, Man-at-Arm Tower. He's gone Berbers, and he's gone Vilrush, and anytime Beery plays, he's always trying to lame. So I said, Vilrush, question mark? He says, no, FC, Huang push with lame. And here I'm like, oh my god, don't tell me he's actually going to. I'd taken it early, and he kills my villager. So I'm going to make a comment, and I'll admit, okay? I'll admit I was annoyed, all right? I said such a beast. That's obviously 100% sarcasm. Thank God that I actually brought in my boar. In my mind, like, honestly, in that moment, I'm just like, yeah, this is why this guy will never play in tournaments. This is why this guy has 6 accounts, blah, blah. I was a little annoyed, all right? So happy I wasn't streaming for that one. I knew exactly he was going to do something funky. I know his villager's here, and this is where the madness starts. So if you feel as though you have ever faced up against someone who is extremely annoying, you have never seen a thing, enjoy the madness from Beery, okay? I try a little quick gate there to try and send his villager in towards my TC. And unfortunately, it doesn't work. I'm going to bring in my second boar because he's going to try and steal this. Obviously, a little weird here. I get housed, trying to push in some deer. It's nasty stuff. But yeah, so far for Beery, he's just sent forward a villager. Berber villagers are faster. And he actually has incredible micro. So I wanted to wall that off. Was feeling like maybe I could fight this. If you look back at Beery's base, he's got the perfect economy, just now making a lumber camp. And he's not going to hesitate to take any fights here. Now, the camel is more important in later stages of the game, but right now it's going to be just as effective as a scout. And look at this. Like, he's right next to my TC. I try and shoot that. Try and block him. No. And then this is where I was like, oh, boy. So now he's got 3 vills. And see, the thing is, his vills are faster, so he'll win a vill fight. So I kind of, like, I have to fight him because otherwise he's going to wall my lumber camp up, so I can't use it. There he goes. I don't know. I decided at this point just to not engage in these battles because I wanted to kill this villager. Meanwhile, he's walling up my lumber camp. Again, just having so much fun. No good fights here, but honestly, he's going to get away. So far, he did have 41 seconds of TC idle time. I won't know that. And, okay, here... I forgot about this. It's actually making me tilt it all over again. All right, I want to explain what's happening here. Okay, so, here, we have a straggler tree. So, back in the day, if there was a straggler tree, you could place a building over it, or like a palisade wall is what people would do, and it would delete it from the map. So this tree has been chopped, right? It would not work for forest trees, but for an individual tree, and you could go over, you could scout your opponent, and you could place a palisade foundation over the tree. You would not have to build it, you would have to place it. And so all tournaments banned straggler tree laming because it's a way to get a pretty big lead, right? You have all this wood here, especially in this case, I really need my straggler trees because my lumber camp's walled off. So anyways, the devs made an amazing change, I think, last year, where now you need to build a building to remove a tree, which means in the case of a palisade, if you place a palisade wall, you could still remove it, but you have to actually hit it and build it. Beery uses farms. Did you see that? Just want to make sure people know. So he's looking, he knows I'm off wood, he sees my straggler trees. You can't do it the old-fashioned way, but farms have range, essentially, and so he builds the farm, and then it takes away my tree, and then he deletes his farm, and he just keeps moving. Yeah. Ridiculous. Now, at this point, I'm thinking I've got to rush to Feudal Age. I know that I'm going to need to prioritize a lumber camp, and he now removes another, what was that, like 80 wood from me. And now he's going to wall in a villager around the mill because he knows I'm Gurjaras. He knows I've got sheep in there. And so he's going to start attacking the mill. Now, thankfully, I didn't chop this tree yet. Because I probably would have lost that one as well. But this is so annoying, man. It's so annoying. And so there he is. He's attacking my house. So I have to make more houses. He's still got villagers all around. I haven't seen the guy's base. I've lost straggler trees. I've lost a villager. I've lost a lumber camp. The most tilting player to play against. And every time he sees me, he calls me daddy. Now, farms actually have here. I garrison, get a little bit of damage in. He's going to see this tree. I don't even know how do I defend from that? I can't even stop. There's nothing I can do. I genuinely, it's really, like, it's annoying, obviously. And there's a reason tournaments ban it. But, like, I honestly do not know what more I can do there. So, it's well played from him, I suppose. But now I'm about to hit feudal. Problem is, I'm having some really bad wood problems. I wanted to go for a barracks, and then I wanted to go for archers. But the barracks, I don't have the wood for yet. And so now I'm going to place these wonderful farms. I fix them, don't worry. Because I figure, okay, we'll just go eco, I guess. Because I actually kind of need some food income. That villager's still walled in, attacking the mill. All right, so apologies, by the way, for all the pauses, but I think it's really important to talk about all the small details and facets of this game because it's all really important and it's all really in-depth. I know it's like really ridiculous, but it's all well thought out. So as much as annoying as his strategy is, it is very well thought out. So essentially, what he has done is denied my wood access, okay, forced me to this lumber camp, and he sees it now. So he is going to now rush me with villagers to continually deny my wood, okay? Now, from my perspective, I actually researched wheelbarrow because I wanted my villagers to be able to keep up the speed with the Berbers. Okay, so those are important details. Now I'm going to wall this up. Here I go. Villagers are army. I'm in feudal. I am benefiting from feudal by getting eco upgrades. And here I am fighting. Obviously, he's got so much speed compared to me. Now, he is going to click with a group of his villagers in front to block it. He's so good at it, I have to say. And these villagers are still exposed for me. I'm like, my God, this guy's the worst. And here we go. But notice, if I had straggler trees, these villagers could actually work. Okay, so this is an unreal game. He's getting as close to the TC as possible. He's not actually going to go underneath the TC and then watch his TC back at home. He has me on wood. He deletes his TC back at home. He's now town center dropping me. I freaked out. I knew it would be Vil Rush, and I thought, maybe I'm still okay. But guys, the biggest thing that you need when you get TC dropped, the biggest thing that you need is access to wood. And my access to wood has been delayed, and now he's TC dropping me. I might not be able to repair my TC. So I build a tower, and now I'm trying my best to kill these villagers, obviously. So far, I have not killed a single villager. Okay? I lost 2. I've killed 0. Finally killed 1. And so I didn't really know what to do from here, except for try and win the TC war. Here you can see he's like running around, trying to dodge shots here or there. Trying to stay underneath my tower. I sniped that one. It's insane. So I'm at 22 vills. He's at 23. He does have eco that's untouched at home, but it's not the greatest eco ever, obviously. And my goal for the time being was simply to win the TC war. And then you have... and I wanted to go archers. That's going to take some time, obviously, because I don't really have the wood right now. But yeah, I was winning the TC war, and my mill was still up, bringing me food, which was so huge during this. Honestly, not having the Gurjars, I don't know if I would have had this many villagers. And so I kind of feel all right. Kind of feel all right. Also, Edo, if I tower my wood line, I lose the... I probably have problems here as well. It's really tricky. The thing about this type of play is that it's forcing you to make decisions all the time. You might have right decisions that you could make, but you better make it right away because you are going to be forced to make decisions much faster than you normally would have to in a game. So I'm like, okay, I'm winning the TC war. This is good. Here I'm going to go for a gate and try and block it off, but Berber villagers are stupid fast, so I'm not going to be able to get a kill. But I'm still thinking, okay, I've got him. I've won the game. This is mine now. There's no way he can beat me. He's not going to have a TC. This is where we have some problems, okay? So I wall my villagers in. I'm going to shoot his TC down. Beery has been on stone at home, and he sees my villagers are walled in. Now, I remember, I'm going to pause again because I think it's important. I remember thinking, okay, I've got wood, I've got gold, I can wall this off, got to make archers, he doesn't have a TC, I'm going to get my berries, I'm good. And then I remember seeing this, and I tried to place a tower, and then I was like, oh, I already made a tower. I lost the tower over there. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm walled in. This is really bad. This is really bad for me, guys. My villagers are now walled in, and now he can make towers, and I cannot. And I have no army yet. So I'm like, okay, we will fight. We will fight. There we go, because I didn't know what else to do. And so I thought, like, that could maybe batter down the tower. Here, I try and break out. And there's my archer in there. So now it's just like, I have to take these towers out, or I'm going to lose my whole wood line. And at the moment, it's 24 villagers for both. If I lose 8 villagers, I'm screwed. So you can see the archer didn't last. You can see that I can't really get shots in or hits in on the tower. Here he's repairing the wall. Here he's going to build this tower. My archers can't be anywhere near the towers. Just watch the Eco KD at the bottom left. It's not looking great. This tower's fully garrisoned, hitting these vills. I have no wood right now. Try and garrison there. Now, I am still creating villagers, which I think is important. But he gets the other tower up. I figured if I got one tower down, that I'd probably still be okay-ish. Also, I was like half tilted out of my mind at this point, obviously. So, you know, my thought was also just to send everything, and then if it doesn't work, I just resign and play an actual player. But no, I mean, like, maybe being half tilted probably helped me here because I continued to try, and I had to take down palisade walls to get wood. He has no TC, but I'm at 15 villagers, about to drop down to 13 villagers. I have no easy wood access. I have no gold access. It's a tough life. I've lost 18 villagers at 19 minutes. So I know exactly what he's thinking. He's thinking he can't make more archers. So I just use vills as military. It's very similar to how Rubenstock does it with the TC drops, where you make it so they can't create vills, and then you just continue to push them. However, I did still have berries, and I could still produce vills. But now I don't have wood. So, 88 wood, no straggler trees because he lamed them. I'm microing this archer to death, and it's going to take some time. And so I'm like, what do I do here? And the only thing, I actually didn't know about this wood line. The only thing I can really do is fight with Vills and then try and take that wood for the time being. And, like, I feel like I did things that should have put me in positions to get Vill kills this game. That's another little gate. There he blocks with his villager just so he could separate himself. He's really good at this. Meanwhile, he's making a TC at home. I'm at 19 villagers. He's at 24. And, you know, I guess, like, I didn't know all this situation, right? But I guess, like, you could consider this somewhat manageable. I mean, it's still very painful. He's going to take out my archer range. He's towered my wood lines and my gold and everything. But yeah, here I go. And now I can't make army. So I can't make army because my range is going to be down. I am still making vills, but I'm concerned only about towers. So I thought my concern was going to be if he ended up making like, archers. Because then I, you know, unfortunately wouldn't have army. So if he's going to make archers, you can see the range there. I killed that Vill. I figured I need to get stone. So, you know, villagers traveling all around. Now, I thought I was dead when I lost 18 villagers. But I continued to play, honestly, because I was a bit frustrated. And sometimes when you're frustrated, you just stay in the game longer. And now, I mean, Beery is like Tower Rusher Boy 2002 or 2022, man. Like he's really good at tower rushing, and he didn't wall in these towers. So I'm like, haha. How do you like that, Beery? And then I'm like, oh crap. No, he's actually, we need to leave. Oh god. And then he starts to wall me in. I'm like, oh, why did I laugh? Why laugh? Why laugh? Why was that the reaction? Why do that? And fortunately, I make it out of here after only losing one Vill. Here I go with my archer. Here I am. This is the first time I have seen his base all game. Okay? First time I have seen his base all game. I'm out here to counterattack. And I didn't know what to expect. So now I say, screw you. And I kill the deer. I had other things to worry about. Because I saw his villagers were running this way. Now, if I have archers, he's got skirmishers. But other than that, we've just got villagers here. So I felt like stone and gold access was going to be key, obviously. So here we are trying to fight. Berber villagers are still much faster. And I've got a couple farms, but for the most part, I'm now done with berries, and I've just got those pigs inside the mill, which brings me food income. Got some weak villagers. Now I'm just... The key for me here was making it so he couldn't easily rush down my tower. Because 5 villagers fit inside a tower, and then the rest would be villagers. So you can see exactly what he's doing. He's got 6 villagers here, 2 villagers around. I go for a little quick wall. I'm actually somehow able to make scouts, and now I'm going to send in the scout and the villagers. Now, I just wanted to take the tower out. I didn't realize he had that many weak vills. I wasn't worried about any of that. I simply wanted to take the tower out. And I wanted to find his base. And yeah, I mean, the vill count's 30 versus 29. Still have lost a lot of villagers, but have kept villagers producing, which is nice. And this tower's actually ranging this tower, so I figured why not? I've got 2 scouts now. He's made spearmen. And so I've got access to stone. My wood and farming food eco is honestly atrocious. I've had 1 hour and 30 minutes of idle time this game. But we're going to micro and take out his spearmen. And now I was thinking in my mind that I honestly thought I was so dead 5 to 10 minutes ago, but now I'm thinking, if I can get to gold, maybe and make archers, maybe I can do something. I really wanted to kill some of these villagers. But yeah, ridiculous game. We're 27 minutes in. We're both at 30 pop. I honestly do feel like early wheelbarrow kind of helped me a little bit. And still trying to get kills. Villagers are there for the spears. He's looping around again. He's now starting to make some archers. Again, I didn't know about any of this. I didn't scout his base. He's starting to go to farms, so he actually has just as many farms as I do. And I thought that I'd kind of thwarted this attack and was going to loop my villagers back this way. But now he's placing a tower, which is going to range my stone. I did come back to the gold, so something that these all-in players will do is they just go for a market, slap a bunch of villagers on gold, and they just buy food. So I knew that could be an issue. These villagers are going in. This is where his focus was. As you can see, my focus is not there. Until right now, I think I send these villagers into this tower. And so I was able to get some Vill picks. Nice little revenge. 2 villagers killed there. And the key for me was to just keep access to gold. The stone allows you to protect the rest of your base, I guess. But like the gold was always going to be the biggest thing. I still had this gold back here. Still going for kills where I can. I'm a caster, so my micro sucks. Sorry about that. But I was distracted on some other things. At this point, I actually would love to check the resources collected. I didn't actually do that upon rewatching this. It just happened last night. Dang, man. That's crazy. Now, we've collected the same amount of resources. My question is, someone do the math for me. How much food would I have brought in at this stage of the game from the pigs? If someone could do the math for me, that would be fantastic, because I honestly do feel like at some stages of this game, what kept me pumping villagers was the mill. It felt like it made a really big difference in the earlier stages of the game. And of course, that's what all people are talking about with Gurjaras. I mean, the Gurjara options or well is kind of crazy, but like that eco seems to be what's really breaking them. Again, when you're up against Beery, you go, right now it's Gurjaras. If you're up against Beery when the civs are like more balanced, then you pick some other civ against his one trick, because he does a lot of all-ins. Like, he used to go Mongols all the time. I'd always pick Mongols myself. I just wanted to make sure I have the same tools as him when he was going to lame and do whatever he needed to do. Now, I lose this tower. I actually placed this tower because again, I felt like Vill rushing was on the cards for him. I know, like, a tower here might look better, but my reasoning may or may not have been correct as I kill another villager here. My reasoning was that these towers would be in range of each other. So he has no army at home. Like, he's still trying to hit me, and we've just been able to pick him apart. If he sends army home, he probably feels like he's not doing damage to us at our base. So he's tried to fight with villagers. The villager he just lost here, he had pulled off to fight here, thinking I'd run into the TC. It was, what did I have? 18 villagers lost against like 3 earlier in this game. Slowly bringing it back. Market's your best friend when you don't have a great situation, so I buy more. Also realized I could still kind of take some of the stone. This is messy. All I do in these situations is I click the group to the tower, and then I select the weak ones out of the group to pull them away. He's dodging the tower fire. He's got archers now, which is obviously so awkward, and ripperoni. Here we go. Actually, don't even know if he was building a tower or if I was building a tower there. I think I was attacking his tower. I forget at this point. It's been that type of a game. He's so focused on the front. He's hyper-focused on the front. Kill, 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 kill. And I'm sneaking around. Also has fletching, which is nice. I'm obviously aware of that. And so I just feel like, okay, maybe if I could stay alive, taking some scouts out of one of my 2 stables, because I probably forgot a control group like a noob. Now he will fight this back. He does not care. He wants to keep me off of gold. He makes a tower. I make a tower. Now, the thing is, guys, his strategy is good with Berbers, but I think it's arguably even better with Poles. Because Polish villagers heal. And I think if you get into a Vill war, and also a situation where you have a lot on stone, too, which really helps you later, I don't know. As I lose my scouts there, I honestly, thinking more and more about this, feel like he could go for this strategy with Poles. I know that tower rush and Vill rush with Poles is becoming more and more common right now. I feel like it's happening a lot at mid-elo, but no one's talking about it. But yeah, I have armor on the scouts. No forging or anything. Was beginning to feel like he didn't have much, though. He lost quite a few Vills. The laughter is stopped. I did actually take a moment to breathe, and I was able to see this stone, which I probably should have thought of earlier, but I was actually shooting this tower down. 8 sheep and mill equals 28 food per minute. Times 30 minutes would be 840 food. Gotcha. Well, we'll see what happens near the end. But yeah, I've got enough upgrades here where I'm feeling pretty comfortable to take the fight. I have my own tower, which I can shoot down his tower with. And then I know there's villagers in there. At this point, Castle Age was kind of my long term. as I was going to have access to everything I needed. And here I come with the scouts. And I was down to 15 villagers versus 24 here. And here's the thing about Beery, okay? Here's the thing about Beery. You hate it, okay? You absolutely hate it. This game almost made me uninstall, right? And it's a shame that he plays all the time because I can't avoid him too much. But at the same time, he's just a funny, silly, ridiculous dude. He's always laughing, always joking around. Like, he legitimately loves it. It's not like he's the type of player who would do stuff like this and then be so happy that the other person's tilted and, like, make fun of him, make jokes. He's just funny, dude. Like, I mean, he just is very interesting. Let's put it that way. And he says 11, GG, well played with the exclamation mark. I'll take it. And I can't speak Spanish, but I did watch his VOD afterwards. And, you know, the whole time he's Vil rushing me. My girlfriend, she can't really speak much Spanish, but she could translate some of it. And she's like, all he's saying is like, oh, T90, what are you doing, T90, T90? Just nonstop. Meanwhile, I wasn't streaming it at the time. I was just like, ugh, you know, I was just in so much pain. So, honestly, potentially a bit of a brag upload. I actually feel like this is one of the better wins I pulled out in a while because losing the amount of villagers that I did, normally you don't come back in those situations. I feel like we had pretty good mental coolness to get the counterattacks in while also defending where we could with the towers. I think the key for me was honestly just getting stone. I'd like to think that I would have found this stone because I did have it scouted and I would have had the awareness to go there earlier, but I don't think I would have. So that was a pretty big deal for us. But also, Gurjaras, man. Like, I really wonder what happens if I lose that mill. I think I lose the game. And it's not even so much how much food has been brought in total, but it's more about what happened when I had no wood and I only had 2 or 3 farms. I think that's the stage of the game where I wouldn't be able to create villas with another civilization. So thank you to Beery for playing only Gurjaras for 3 months straight. That way I picked Gurjaras, so when he would go for another cheese strategy, I would have something to defend it. Oh, man. I would have 100% tilted long before this point. Well, I was a bit tilted. And then the next game I played him and I lost, and he picked Gurjaras. It was a Gurjara war. Oh, jeez. It's funny, Nikov messaged me. Nikov, Argentinian player. Beery is an Argentinian player. Nikov said, I should host a best of 21 between you and Beery because these are so much fun to watch. And I said, it's the absolute worst. I hate this. And he's like, yeah, he's like, that's what, there's a lot of those guys around 2K or 2K1. He's like, I'm happy to be a pro player, but I'm more happy that I'm a pro player so I don't have to queue up against these guys. Honestly, like, Beery is very much like Huang. If you guys know Huang, he is at this elo likely because of how he plays, so he wouldn't be able to just change his style and play standard. I think if he tries to play standard, he's no longer near that top 100 in the world. I think he's like well below that. So, you know, it's a bit of a double-edged sword for him. I don't think he'll be able. I mean, I would love to see the guy, you know, improve, obviously, because then I don't have to play him if he's like 2K5. But I don't think he's really a guy who can make a push to be like, you know, that next level because he's arrived to this level with his style. His style's really crazy. So, again, I would never play that way. I absolutely hate to be up against it, but it is effective. It is crazy. It is wild. And it's certainly entertaining. So I had to show that game to you guys because I figured it would maybe be a good watch. So, YouTube, what do you have to say? Is it too much? Is it too extreme? Is it too annoying? Should it not be a part of our game? Or is he merely playing with what the game allows, which is all fair? I personally am inclined, even though I felt it was annoying, to feel like most of that is what the game allows. And Age of Empires 2 has a lot of depth. Unfortunately, that depth can lead to horrifyingly annoying strategies at times. Anyways, let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon.